we must now consider how safety culture will contribute to achieving our safety objectives. How do we ensure nuclear safety? When we talk about safety functions, we mainly think of their implementation in related safety equipment. So safety primarily depends on the reliability of this equipment. This means that the probability of an equipment failure must be as low as possible. However, if safety equipment does fail, other equipment should be available to mitigate the consequences of an accident. But safety depends significantly on the organisation of the people in the industry, including how safety equipment is designed and built, as well as how it is used. This can be regulated through a safety management system. Such a system is designed to manage safety elements in the workplace. The practical outcome of such a system is normally a set of procedures and regulations that directly specify safety-related work activities. Also important is to what degree previous operating experience is considered while designing, building and operating safety equipment. But industrial organisations and companies are composed of people, so it's the actions of people that are decisive for accomplishing safety. The actions of people depend on how they are prepared for their safety-related activities, especially how people have been trained. The most important attitude of people is their questioning attitude. Do they take everything for granted, or do they regularly question their behaviour and those of others, the procedures they must follow, and the equipment and tools that they're using? All this is present in the culture of people that are working collectively in an organisation. Their culture must be a safety culture. So now we'll focus on safety culture and its main elements. Now, what is safety culture? Here you see a definition made by the International Atomic Energy Agency, the organisation that was founded by the United Nations to support the peaceful use of nuclear energy. This definition states that when we talk about safety culture, we must talk about the characteristics and attitudes of organisations and of the individuals in these organisations. These characteristics and attitudes must always prioritise safety issues according to their significance. But of what does this assembly of characteristics comprise? It includes attitudes, such as a questioning attitude, motivation, are you motivated to put safety issues as top priority, values, beliefs, and behaviour. And which organisations and individuals are involved? Here we think of your company, your manager, and finally we are thinking of you. ITER is currently being built at Cadarache in the south of France. During the construction, the necessary safety equipment is being installed. The designers, manufacturers and constructors have already been involved in safety culture, in their daily work, in their company and as individuals. Even though the results of their first work could be seen only paper, their design activities laid the basis for the effective implementation of safety functions later. For that reason, a sound safety culture must exist in the companies involved. The same is true for the following life cycle activities: manufacturing, construction, assembly and commissioning. And then during the operational phase, the operator at least is also responsible for implementing the safety culture. But now it's you who's involved and responsible for implementing safety culture during your design, manufacturing and construction activities. All these life cycle activities are regulated and supervised, principally through three different layers: international organisations that mostly provide recommendations and develop standards, the state that will implement them as national law, together with related procedures, and finally, safety authorities that supervise the specific implementations and approve them. In the case of ITER, the most prominent international organisation is the International Atomic Energy Agency. The state is the French Republic, whose laws and regulations must be observed. And finally, the safety authority is the Autorité de Sûreté Nucléaire. In the past, the ASN mainly dealt with regulating French nuclear power plants, but now they are also involved in licensing ITER, and they are making sure that the nuclear safety culture is properly implemented in the ITER project, which means in all companies that are involved in a project. Now, which characteristics and attitudes are required in a safety culture to achieve the safety objectives? First, let's start with organisations. Their policy, published internally as well as externally, must clearly state that safety is their top priority. But policy isn't everything. The leaders of organisations, such as managers at all levels, must commit to this policy, and most importantly, demonstrate it in their managerial activities. Next, based on the organisational policy, organisational processes and related procedures must document this and provide detailed practical support. Organisations are made up of the individuals that are working in them. Whether safety objectives will be achieved clearly depends on the motivation and commitment of everyone. So every individual must bear a personal responsibility for accomplishing safety objectives. This also means that existing conditions and activities must be regularly challenged. Do they still contribute to achieving safety objectives? Finally, communication between individuals is important, in particular whether it is focused on safety-related issues. Before we proceed, you may like to answer some short questions to check your understanding of what we've learned. Thank you for your attention.